really good. We had some the battle for the lead in the feature was between Tim Alberdane in the 52 and Rob Lindsay, no surprise, in the 23. Yeah. And, man, those guys duked it out lap after lap after lap. Finally got it settled in lap traffic when Alberdane made a big move into turn 1, got the lead, and from there it was like, dude, I am not giving this up. He did not relinquish it, and he ran to the feature win, breaking the streak of Lance Hallmark, who had won the last 2 prior coming in. We had kind of talked amongst ourselves after qualifying, and Rob Lindsay was definitely one of the guys we were watching. But Alberdane, I mean, he actually started. He didn't start on the front row. I mean, he came from the mid-pack to win that race. He'd broke in a heat race, so he had a little bit of a bad luck. But he put on one heck of a drive. That was a good win to see him because, in the last, 4 visits, we've had 3 different winners with Lindsay winning 1, Hallmark 2, now Alberdane. Good race. What did you think about the non-wing sprints?
I didn't see them.
Well,
we were on a field trip.
You were.
We were not watching your Facebook.
You were watching.
We were watching wing sprint cars.
This is where you almost get punched in the mouth.
I know.
Every time.
Listen. I know you guys saw some of the stuff we did live.
No,
I know you did.
We were busy doing ours.
Yeah.
Disappointed in you
9
guys.
cameras.
Multitasking.
Well, says the guy that has someone running a phone live feed for him while he's announcing.
It works though.
And literally,
I have to.
I
can't look in the screen and do the announcing. I got to.
So you can't multitask.
I can. I just can't do that.
No, you can. We'll get a mount for your forehead.
So when you guys were down there, and I know you heard it while you were down there.
One thing that was important to me was the thing I heard. So
yes, and what did you think when you heard Super Sport A main event win went to 12-year-old McLean Bedoin?
I was proud of him and happy to see they let him race. Everything.
Well, and that's we've talked about it. There was some controversy with it, the age thing and the maturity level and tearing stuff up, and there was some serious discussion that went on to get the kid back in the car to race because the track officials almost didn't. When the field rolled out for the feature, and you see the 17 on the pole, you're thinking, well, okay, this kid's got a real chance to win this, and you got the 46 and the 99 starting right there behind him. You think, okay, this is going to be a good race. Mm-hmm. This is going to be, and it for the most part was a really good race until about I'd say 3/4 of the way through when Doug Elkins in the 46 racing with his teammate BJ Donofrio. BJ's got 3 wins. Doug's still looking for the first one. Saw a hole open up. He put it in there, and that hole closed before he got there. And the 46 and the 99 from then on out were completely non-competitive. It was a bad decision from a racing standpoint because it hurt both those guys points-wise. We know how fast they are. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're 2 of the guys that are contending for the win week in and week out.
Yep.
That right there in itself was a big benefit to the 17. Not that it mattered because he led flag to flag. He started up front, came out of the hole like a rocket, and it was just kind of like, if anybody wants this win, you're going to have to get by him on the outside, and there wasn't anybody going to do it. He was so good on the bottom with that Swartz chassis and that setup on that car. I mean, we've talked about it off the air, how fast that car is. He was just, we know the Swartz cars on the bottom at Willamette. When it's good, they're almost unbeatable. I mean, we can agree to that, right, Sam?
Yeah, unless it's an old Rayburn.
Well, and that's a valid point. But the Swartz on the bottom, when that track comes in, if you got your car set up, those things just really like that. From the late models when Russell and Jeremy were in there, Jeremy Shank, now to the Super Sports with, you look at the 46, the 99, the 17, even the 33 of Wright. Those guys are all really good down on the bottom half of the racetrack in those Swartz cars, and it was perfect conditions for McLean Bedoin, and he took advantage. And I will say, the party during Victory Lane interviews was all down at the 17 car. I'll tell you that. It was a very, very large crowd.
You got to think about everything that's going through his head, everybody's head, during this whole past few weeks that they didn't run Super Sports.
Yep.
I don't know that if I was him, that I would have had a straight head to do that.
Would have been hard.
Yep.
With all the, I mean, we did see some negativity directed his way from some of the competition. We saw controversy with track officials possibly not letting him race.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot going on there in that camp. For that kid, I will tell you, for 12 years old, he is far beyond his years as far as temper.
Yeah.
Keeping his temper in check. And he was just cool as a cucumber and did a great job in Victory Lane and impressed me. Impressed me with
awesome. Like I say, I got a bunch of texts all at once. And I was like, oh, look at that.
Yeah. Is that the non-wing results, Sam?
No, I couldn't find those. This is your Super Sport feature.
Super Sport feature was it was a good race. We had I think 13 cars actually qualified, but 12 started. And Bedoin was your winner. Randy Barley finished second. This dude has been consistent all year long. I mean, he's got a win down at Grove. He's been very, very consistent with Willamette. Slover, the 77S, was third. Randy Boyd in the K4, filling in for Irvine, was fourth. Vaughn Stone in the 17 was rounded out the top 5. Vaughn Stone got a heat race win.
Nice.
And the car was fast. His heat race was kind of weird because it was at a time where everybody was on the track. Conditions allowed everybody to be fast. So it was really hard for anybody to pass. And then chaos kind of broke loose where a guy would spin and go to the back, and then two guys got together and kind of took each other out, and that left him on the front row. And after he spun and went to the back once, I mean, it was kind of like everybody kind of cycled through, and it just happened to work out where he got to the point and did a really good job of driving. His car looked better that last week than it has all year. So whatever they're doing, they're working it out. The car's getting better.
Nice.
They're getting that thing figured out. That Swartz car on the slicks, setting those cars up isn't your typical late model style setup.
Right.
Running up the rest of the field, we had Chris Mott started dead last and ran up to 6th. Blanchard, Robert Mercer, Dave Miller, Donna Frio Elkins, and Fuller in the 88. There was a little bit of chaos about halfway through that race, bumping and grinding, guys getting together. Things got a little dicey, but it's what you expect with the super sports, right?
Yep.
That's the way it goes. It was a good race. It was entertaining. Fans got their money worth, between them and the non-wing sprints. I will tell you this: the Hornet heat race was an education. There is a new sheriff in town. I will tell you this right now: when it comes to the Hornet cars, there is a new sheriff in town. He got rid of the old car. He's got his new car, and I'm telling you right now, I know you've got some ties to the Hornet class.
Yep.
Be warned right now. That is the fastest Hornet I've seen to date at the track.
Well, we put a new motor in one of them.
Well, this is Casey Scott. Casey Scott we're talking about. It's got the new car out. Beautiful race car. I mean, truly beautiful.
I've seen it. It was really nice.
It's a beautiful race car. But, man, I tell you what, he really has he's got it figured out. That thing just was fast, smooth. I mean, flat-footing it. He's going to be tough to beat from here on out. We'll find out just how good that car is at the Great American Hornet Challenge. Because that's kind of where everybody with a Hornet car, in the world shows up.
Yeah.
And,
it's a lot of fun, actually.
Oh, it's a fun race. I mean, it really is. I think, what did we have last year? We had close to 50 Hornets, didn't we? That was a big deal. And $750 to win?
I don't remember
I
what
think
it
was $750 to win last year, and I'm expecting Jeremy will probably do something like that again this year.
Yeah, well, we put up the money for AMCO puts up most of the money. So
right, yeah.
I'm sure it'll get increased, yeah.
Well, it did last year. That was the thing. I think it was $500 and got bumped up there in the last week or so. I can't remember who put the money up, but somebody else did. But that was a big deal, and we had some really awesome Hornet cars. Casey Scott was the winner. Matt Diller in the 22X finished second. Third was Chad Christensen. First time we've seen him in the 588. Kaylee Batalja, little 37 car. She ran good. I mean, we had some new names that were competitive. Kelsey Drager was fourth. Tiana Friend in the 428 was next. Then it was Chloe Van Sant, John Bussell. Ryan Emery filled in for his son. He filled in for Matthew. And Christina Christensen, say that 3 times fast, in the 84 was 10th.
Well, I seen a picture of Matt Diller's car sideways and another car up against it. What was that about?
Just a little bump and grind. Nothing major.
So it was completely sideways.
Well, yeah, but it was, it's the Hornets, but you know how they do it. But nothing serious. Nobody got,
They weren't close to the wall? It was down
They
low?
did not do it Conti style.
Oh,
That was not Dom Kinzer, I'll tell you that.
Dang.
I don't think there's not another Hornet driver out there that can pull that off. I will tell you that.
I don't think I could ever pull it off again.
That was one of the most awesome things I've ever seen in a Hornet. It was cool.
No style points awarded then.
Oh man, that was something, Dom. I'm glad you came out of that all right.
Oh, yeah.
What do we got going on here?
I see Roger Schneider on there.
Oh, Schneider's blowing us up.
He's probably
Somebody's
already.
smashing his taillights right now.
Yep, someone broke out his taillights.
Dakota already got him replacements.
We gotta love the racing.
Oh, I mean
community.
Cole. Sorry,
Cole. That's the young man we call Cole now.
You understand he doesn't even know what that means.
He's gonna have to watch the movie.
He knows who the character is, so we've made progress.
Yeah, he understands where it's coming from. IMCA Sport Mods, Willamette Speedway. We had 14 finish in the feature, okay? And as always, great race. I will tell you this. With the Sport Mods, we've seen Jordan Broughton. We've seen Mike Medell. We've seen who else has been just really, really super fast. I'm trying to go through all the names here in my head. We've had some really, really good Sport Mods this year. Bruce Ray. In the number one car.
That's who I was thinking of.
Bruce Ray in the number one car, I'll tell you right now, has established himself. He's back, baby. He is back. I want to tell you, coming in, not last week, but the week before, he hadn't won a feature in 16 years.
Wow.
He's won the last 2. And I will tell you, Saturday night, there was nobody that had anything for him. Nothing. Second place was Daniel Ray, his son. Now, Daniel had a little bit of a run there towards the middle where he reeled him in a little bit, and by a little bit, I meant the gap was still at least a half a straightaway. And then Bruce Ray just, so smooth, incredibly smooth. They've got something figured out of that one car because, man, it is, when he enters the corner, the car gets in, it rotates on the throttle, it is going forward the whole time. Much better than anybody else out there. Impressive what they're doing on that number one car. Watch him the rest of the year. Daniel Ray was second. Buddy Mahargu in the 29. Him and Daniel Ray had a fantastic race going for second and third. I mean, these guys spent most of the race side by side, nose to tail, bumper to bumper. I mean, it was truly, Mahargu, a champ down at Cottage Grove. Daniel Ray, we know he's got great equipment, good driver. I mean, those guys put on, in that race, was the race of the night. I mean, in that division was the battle for second and third in the Sport Mod feature. Fourth place went to Jordan Broughton. Okay. Mike Medell was fifth. Travis Pruitt, brand new car. White car, got some bright green, got the Richard Petty number, the number 43 in the Richard Petty font.
Nice.
On the, neat looking race car. Kevin Keller in the 47K. John Rout in the 12R. We know how he's been fast the last couple of visits to Willamette. He was mid-pack. Jordan Henry, Mike Wilcox, Steve Hopkins, Steve Smith, Theron Trissel, and Donnie Fain. We had some guys come up from the Roseburg area, the Douglas County boys, that says on the back of their cars. Good race overall. A good competitive field. Was very entertaining, as the Sport Mods always are. I mean, them and the street stocks are the ones that really put on the best racing.
Competitive,
yes, for a fan to watch, there's no doubt. Man, look at this. 5-0 Beeves, 1 out away from the championship. They're going to do it. Let's talk about some of the stuff going on here in the Northwest. The big news, obviously, is the Wild West Modified Shootout Series going on, Speedweek.
Day off. They get a day off.
They need it. They need it. So, it goes back to Wairika. Opening night, Nick Trenchard got the win. The next night at Southern Oregon was Colin Weinberger. Third night was Coos Bay, Gray Ferando. Fourth night of racing action saw Ethan Dotson get the win. Mm-hmm. Jesse Williamson won on the fifth night at Cottage Grove. And then last night in Sunset in Banks, Oregon, Williamson won it again. 5 winners in 6 races. We almost saw 6 winners in 6 different races. Not sure what happened to Bryson James. Under caution, loses a driveline.
Oof.
while leading with about 10 laps to go.